Tuesday the 18th of April. It's nearly 5 p.m. It's been a while. I don't think I have done anything since the daily analysis for the 4th of April. And so what I'm going to do is quickly do a review of what happened here for that day, and then on top of that, a trade that I missed out on, and basically what we've done since, because it hasn't been much, which is kind of the main talking point. So very quickly, going to the 4th of April here through this London session. I got in as it hit the band twice, and then I basically rode it for the night. What I basically had thought was that this was, a pretty safe trade. I went to sleep thinking that this was going to come back. What I didn't take into consideration was the fact that overall, if this loads up, I know that's kind of the end, you can kind of see that we're in an uptrend. And so what I need to do in the future, and this is after going through it with Benny, is I just need to, if I get in a second time, I just need to bring my take profit up to here and this up to here. And by doing that, I'm, getting out at break even and making a small profit, and then that would have closed, and then I could reset. And so if I did that, that could have been, say that's $100, $200. And then on top of that, this was something that I planned by doing I think it was on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. I could see the ceiling. And so I thought it was a very safe trade. I would have put on the river wide for that section. And so as you can see here, that's perfectly in line if we take the narrow off. So I basically entered there, and I was asleep at this time. This is probably about 1 a.m. And by the time I'd woken up, this had gone through, but obviously these were still active. And so unfortunately, it was about a $4,000 loss minus the $500 profit. So it was about $3,500 of a loss. So that was disappointing. I guess that kind of, like, I can see it now, and I've got my action of how I'm going to go through next time if this ever happens again and I layer in. But at the time I was a little bit confused, and so if we go to the next day, so this is all back on, there was a perfect trade that came up, came back down, and then perfectly touched this first river band. And to be honest, I just didn't want to touch it. I kind of confused myself, lost a bit of confidence, and I missed out on that. And so if we go to the cash flow record, we can see this negative $3,500. And I've missed this sell opportunity here, but then since then there honestly has been nothing. We're at pretty much, I think this is day 10 now of trading, so nearly 2 full weeks of nothing. And so it's hard to put these things in place when you can't practice it every day. But you just have to react to what it gives you. There's no point trying to trade something that isn't there. If we get out of this and this, and we'll just kind of focus on this $200 here. Just right here, very, very small. Essentially, what we got here, this was last Friday night, and I'll just zoom in, essentially it had peeked through. I didn't see the alert for about 10 minutes, and so in that time it was right here. And so that was probably a good thing. If I did see it immediately, I probably would have got in here. And so the fact that I was able to wait was quite good. And so I got in here, and I made sure my take profit was really small, of just $200. Got out, and just happy to be able to take a trade for once in 2 weeks. So since then there hasn't really been much. We'll just go back to today. As you can see here, there's just nothing. Alright, so this is today. So if we work up and back, we can see here we're in a very steep uptrend. Since this was all the way back in the 28th of March, so 3 weeks ago, we've had essentially no pullback. It's gone very steeply up. It's ranged for a bit in this 3,500 mark, and then it's just kept going, and we're kind of ranging again. So yeah, I guess it's that question of, are we going to see some sort of dip down? We'd really need to see some sort of candle, like a real serious type of candle that kind of breaks through this area here. And then it will return up. But to be honest, we're not having any of that, especially in the London session. There's just kind of nothing. Zooming in a little bit closer to see a bit more detail of what I've just said. It's much the same. So since this point, we've just scaled up, and then it's just trending up slowly. If we zoom closer to the 1 hour, again, much the same. My areas that I'm looking at, to be honest, it needs to hit the bands first, but this looks like a pretty serious area just here, and that's around the 3,4,200, 3,4,100 mark, just about there. And so if it's hitting that, look, I would like to think that that's going to hit some sort of a ceiling and come back down, but it just doesn't look like it's doing it at all. So this is on the 5 minute. It shows that it's quite on the upside of this, but if we do zoom in, there's actually not that much movement. So I guess if we are looking at that, bring that back slightly, and we're looking at 3,4,150. 3,4,150 takes us around this mark here. And if we were to buy and had any interest in buying, we're probably looking at back here which is about 3,900. So 3,900, like that looks like a pretty safe bet. and that's right on that first band. So, you know, within that mark like that, you could see that lines up with the median, or very close to it. And, you know, anything below that is going to be a high probability trade. So I think ideally, if we were to look kind of down here and then trading to go up, or vice versa, if it's going to go up, I'd probably want it to go up to this point before getting in for it to come down here. That's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. So we'll just wait and see if the last couple of weeks there's any indication. High chance that nothing will happen until the New York session. So I've got my 2 alerts on just here when it's around this mark and when it's getting close to these bands. But yeah, that's kind of me. So have a good day. Catch you later.